Hi guys, how are you? I'm good. This video is about how to link the CSS file or cascading style sheet file to HTML files, or simply which we can say the types of CSS files we can say. So before proceeding to our lectures, if you are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel, to like my video, and to share the channel and the videos link with your friends. When I directly proceed, as I have told you, the lesson is about linking, how to link CSS file to HTML files. As I have already presented or as I have already discussed with in my previous videos about introduction to CSS, the purpose of using CSS or the purpose of using cascading style sheet file is for presentations or for formattings of HTML element which is already created by HTML tag. Rather, CSS can't do nothing. We can do nothing by CSS. I mean that, bear in mind, recall again. CSS file cannot define any HTML element. This CSS file or there is no tag for CSS. Within CSS file there is no any HTML tags. Rather, on already defined HTML element, CSS can format, can change formats. This is the point. Now here, the element is defined by HTML element. Element is defined by HTML tag. The HTML element is defined by HTML tags. Then purpose of using CSS is for formatting, like that. So for example, changing its font type, font size, font color, its color, background image. So for formatting we use CSS. Now our today's point is when I come to today's point, or when I come to target, we can link this CSS into HTML in 3 different ways. Look, hence it is possible to link CSS files or cascading style sheet file to HTML or with HTML in 3 different ways. They are embedded style, inline style, and external style. Let us directly go to, or let us see each of them one by one. What is embedded style, what is inline style, and what is internal styles. Now, the first one is inline style sheet or inline styles. This inline style is a style which is defined on single lines of program or single lines of the HTML files, or which is defined in single tag, and they can format or and they can change only contents of that tag. This is the point. Inline style sheet is defined within single tag, and they can, it is effect or it is changes only on contents of that tag. Let me recall again. This inline style sheet is defined within single line or single tag, and it can change or it can affect only that tags. The change which is comes by this inline style sheet is can affect only contents of that tag. Let us see this practically. Okay. Follow me here. For example, the common structures of HTML elements are the same. Look, for example, HTML, then body, and then by closing, let me close a body tag. Then let me close HTML tag. Now look here, but let me save first. Let me save. Okay. Let me say h.html. Saving with this file extension is mandatory, as we have already seen, as I have already discussed it with in my previous video. Then let me define h1 Look, within the opening tag, bear in mind, always this inline style sheet is defined within element is opening tag style equal to, let me say, color is green. Then as it is content, the contents of header one, let me say jar source lectures. Then by closing header one, look here. Now first let us erase this one, and then what will happen first before applying inline styles. Let us see. Look, this text is displayed on our web browsers. Look here, the text, look, jar source lectures, and it is font color is black. Now you can, as you can see, the font color is black. Now let us apply inline style sheet. Look, within element opening tag style equal to, okay, color, okay, they are separated by colon, property and the value is separated by colon. This is what I have already elaborated within my previous video. Let me say green. Look, already line style sheet is, look, written like this one. We have to define them within the element opening tag. H1 style color green. By saving this one, let us see now. Look, the color is now green. Let us change to yellow. Let me say yellow. By saving the change, look, now it is yellow. We can't we can change it to red, for example. We can say here red. By saving the change, look here, it is now red. This is what done by inline style sheet, inline or E1 line. Now, for example, let me, one point is there. Look here, note, inline style sheet can't affect or change contents of other tag out of the tag in which it is defined. Even if the tags are this, even if the tag is the same, look, for example, look here. If for example we have another, if you have, for example, another header one, out of look, for example, jar source lectures, 2 jar source lectures. Within this line, inline style sheet is defined here. Within this one, not. It's not defined, and the style sheet is not defined on the second line. Let us see the difference. Look, this one is red, but this one is black. This is what the effect is of inline style sheet. This inline style sheet can't affect or change contents of other tag out of tag in which it is defined, even if the tags are the same. This is the point. Now, for example, to make change for both of the line, we can use another embedded or internal style sheet that we see later. So this inline style sheet can't affect or can't change contents of another tag, even if the tag is the same. Bear in mind. The other one is embedded styles or embedded style sheet, or which we can say internal. The internal style sheet or embedded style sheet. An internal style sheet should be used when a single document has unique styles. And bear in mind, this internal style is defined within head tags. Look, this is a very important point. Within head tags of HTML tag. Now, this means to use embedded style sheet or to use internal. The first one is inline. Don't confuse. Don't confuse. The first that we have seen is inline. This one is internal. Now, to define an internal style sheet using head tag is mandatory. This is the point. Previously, I have said using head tag is optional in HTML files, but to use embedded styles or to use or to define internal style sheet or embedded style sheet, using head tag is must. This is what you have to bear in your mind. Is their internal styles are defined within head tags of each HTML element file. We want to style with a CSS using style tag. Within, look here, within head tag, we have to have a style tag. But in this one, in inline style sheet, we have used, look, style as attributes of the tags. We have defined within the opening tag, the element opening tags of the element which we want to define it. Or if we want to, for example, in case of inline style sheet, if we want to define on some tags or on some element, we have to define that styles in element or tags, opening tags of that element. But in case of embedded style sheet, we have to define it styles within head tag with the use of style tag. Style tag must be used within head tag. But in case of inline style sheet, style attribute is used within element opening tag. Within the element opening tag. As I have already said, this inline style sheet is defined within only one element or one tags. Then within that tag, within opening tags of that tag, within opening tags of that element, we have to use style attribute. But here we have to use style tag within head tags of HTML files. Now, this method can be good if we need, look, this is a very important point. This method is good if we need to style only one page, or if you want to different page to have varying style, if you want different page to have different styles, or if you want different page to have varying styles. Let us see by examples. For example, using this one, now defining head tag is must for embedded style sheet, and then by closing this one, then within the element head tag we can define title, but it is not mandatory. Title embedded CSS, then by closing title tag, then now within head tag, look, head tag is this one, then we have to define a style tag, style for embedded style sheet, style, then we have to define it as type equal to text CSS, text slash CSS or text or CSS. Then now what we want to change, we have to define now property. For example, body, then background, let me see, should be green, background should be green. Now let me say, for example, H1, then color, for example, color, as I have already said, as I have discussed it within my previous video, declarations have two parties, property and the name. Here red, color red. Here body, background color or background should be green. By saving the change, look here, I have to close, since this style sheet style tag is a container tag, I have to close. It is closing tags, style, by saving this one now, there is opening and the closing tags of style tag. Let us see now what will happen. By look, we have to by removing this one, by erasing the previously defined inline sheet. Now we have two heading one. Now this H1, this is selected. This is declarations. Now this color red should be applied on all heading one. All heading one. Okay, let us see. Look, background color is green, and the my header one content is red. My header one content is red, and the body of my web browser is green. This is what done by this style sheet, or which you have said embedded style sheet. Embedded style sheet means a style sheet which is embedded within head tags of HTML files. Now here I have defined header one color red. Now for example, let me say okay, by terminating this one, if you want to, as I have elaborated, as I have discussed it within my previous video, if you have more than one declaration, we have to separate them by semicolon. This semicolon is for telling the browser terminations of one declarations. Then for example, font size, then colon, let me say okay, 36 px picture 36. This is font size. By changing by saving the change, look, the size is increased. Okay, let me make it, for example, 72. By saving the change, look here, the size is increased. This is what we are defining, or what we are doing, or what we are doing by this style sheet. Look, now here, as I have already defined within, or as I have already discussed it within my previous video, this is selected. Those are now declaration. We have two declarations now. If you have two or more declarations, we have to separate them by semicolon. That means for purpose of telling the browser the index of one declaration. Now here semicolon means terminations of, or the index of the first declarations. Colon is used here for purpose of differentiating property and its value, for purpose of separating property and the value. And the other style sheet is external style sheet. We can write CSS file separately from HTML files. I mean that we can independently write the CSS or cascading style sheet file from HTML element or HTML files. Actually, HTML files or HTML tags are used to define the elements. We can explicitly write this style sheet or this layout from the definition content, the definitions of the content. This means we can separately write CSS files from HTML files. This is my point. You have to bear this in your mind. Let me recall again. We can explicitly write, or we can separately write CSS files from HTML files. The previous two are both inlines and the internal. Both inlines and the embedded style sheets are what? Included within HTML files. But this external style sheet is independently or explicitly written from an HTML file. It is used when style is applied to many pages. Okay, this is the point. When we want to apply these styles into many web pages. In case of inline style sheet, we can define and we can apply the styles only on single tags, or that style can affect only contents of single tag. let me recall again. In case of inline style sheet, we can define CSS file on single line, only on single line, and the effects of that style is only on contents of that style. In case of embedded style sheet, we have to embed, we have to put them in head tags of the HTML tags, and then the effects of that style is on all the page, on all that page. But in case of external, we can apply this external style sheet for many pages. This is their difference. Inline style sheet is for only one line or for only one tag. Embedded style sheet is for only one web page, for only one files, or for only one web page. But this external style sheet can be for many pages, 2 or more pages. We can link single external style sheet. We can link single external style sheet for many web pages. With the external style sheet, we can change look of an entire website by changing one file. This is the point what I have already discussed. Now each page must link to style sheet. This is the point. By defining one HTML file, by defining one CSS files, then through use of the link tag, we can link this file to many web pages, and the effect can be on multiple web page. Look, link, rel, style sheet, type, text, or CSS, href, or hypertext reference, the sources of CSS files. Look, it URL or the name of CSS file. This one is the names of the CSS file or the URL of CSS files. Let us see practically. Okay. So I've already said the common structure is the same. The common by removing this one, the common structures of all HTML files are the same. Let me say body. Then this is the common structures of all HTML files. Then let me define subcontent. For example, either one jar source lectures. Either one jar source lectures. Let me also define another paragraph, for example. Within the paragraph, jar source lectures are for all students of the world. For all students of the world. Clear? Yeah. So this is now paragraph. The contents of paragraph jar source lectures are for all students of the world. For all students of the world. Now here within either one we have I have defined jar source lectures. Then within paragraph jar source lectures are for all students of the world. Okay. Now let us define CSS file. Now CSS file should be written explicitly from these HTML files. If we want to create external style sheet, we have to have independent or we have to have separate CSS file. Now here, let me say body, background, green, then either one. Okay. Paragraph, we can group the selectors. Selector can be grouped as I have discussed within my previous video. We can group selector. Then header one and the paragraph color. It's a separating by colon, let me say red. By saving this one, I have to save now. Let me say jarso.css. This is the point now. CSS file, the CSS file should be saved with file extensions of .css. If we want to create, or if we want to form one external or one independent external style sheet, we have to save it with what? .css file extension. Look, .css, jarso.css. Now, within this one, I have to define now the styles. Now, this style should be defined. First, before coming to that one, let us see what will happen by these HTML files, or what will be displayed on our web browser. Okay, I have to save the change. Then this is what is displayed by these HTML files, body, then header one, paragraph, before applying nothing, before applying, or before defining, or before creating the links of CSS. This is what displayed by our programs or our HTML files. Then now the links of external CSS should be in head tag. Within head tag, let me define title tag, external style sheet, then closing tags of title tag. Then here now we have to create a link tag. For embedded style sheet we have created style tag, but for external style we have to create here link real attribute style sheet equal to style sheet type equal to text CSS, then href or hypertext reference. Here the URL or the names of external CSS files. Now, what is our CSS files name? Jarso.css, jarso.css or jarso. Cascading style sheet. Now we have to specify the name here, jarso.css, jarso.css. We have to close this one. Then okay. Then closing tags of head tag. Closing tags of head tags. Now, embedded style sheets or internal style sheets are defined within here, but for external style sheet it is linked. Look, we have to link external style sheet files, within head tags. Now, before saving the change, let us see. Now, yeah, I have already changed saved the change. I've already saved the change. This is now what is done by this external style sheet. Look, this body background color green, and the H1 and the paragraph, red. Both of them are red. Look here this one, and the paragraph is red. We can make yellow. Let us make one of them yellow. Let me make one of them yellow, for example, by separating the selectors, P color by separating the value and the property by color. Yellow. Look, we can separate the selectors, we can group them. It has saved this one, and okay, see what will happen. Saving both of them. Look, now the contents of header one is red, and the contents of paragraph is yellow. The contents of paragraph is yellow. Now this is what we have done by external style sheet. And note that what you have to bear in your mind, an external style sheet can be written in any text editor. CSS files, an external style sheet can be written by any text editor in the same way that we can write HTML files. The same HTML files can be, we can write, or this HTML file can be written by any text editors. Like that, this external style sheet also can be written in any text editor. In the to save, we have to use .css extensions. Look, the file should not contain any HTML tag. The file should not contain any HTML tag. This means by CSS file we can't define any content on the web browser, but rather it is used to define formats for the element which is already defined by what? By HTML tags. Definitions of element concerns HTML tags, but the decoration, the format, the presentation concerns CSS or cascading style sheet. And the style sheet should be saved with .css file extensions. You have to save. If you have write external CSS, we have to save with .css file extension, as we have seen now. This is as examples what you have seen now. This is all what I have within the video. We have seen how CSS file can be linked to CSS, or how CSS file can be linked to HTML files. We can link or we can attach CSS file to HTML file in 3 ways. Inline style sheet is there, embedded or internal style sheet is there, and the external style sheet is there. This is all what I have. If there is any unclear idea, if there is any ambiguous concepts, you can raise by putting it down on comments of this video. What I want to tell you again is that also, if you are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel, to like my videos, to share the videos link and the channel link with your friends. Thank you for your time. Bye.